Hi there, grade 12s. Good day and welcome to our continuing series on your September CAT prac paper. Okay, so we've done question 1, 2, and 3 so far. We're looking at question number 4, which was based on database. This was worth, let's have a look here. This was worth around 35 marks. So we're going to take it step by step to make sure you understand what's happening. Now, we start with the file that we're going to be working on, the database, which is for digital literacy. And I'm going to open that over there. And what we're going to see are a couple of things. Number one, we can see that we've got 3 tables: attendee, course, and personal information. I've got 2 queries, and I have a form as well. Okay, so that's everything that is in my database. So let's go to the questions. I just want to close here. Let's just go to the questions and see what they want from us. So in the table personal information, so I'm going to go back there, personal information. What do they want us to do? Add a validation rule to the date of birth field to prevent the user from entering a date later than the current date. Okay, so immediately we know we need to be working in the design view section. So remember, we can right click on the particular table, go to design view, or just go into the top here under the home tab to view and design view. There are my fields. I'm going to go to date of birth. Then I'm going to go down to validation rule and validation text. Now, if you'll remember, the validation rule is the rule that we are going to be forcing onto a particular field. So when somebody wants to enter data into that field, this rule is what will apply. If people break that rule or try to break the rule, then the validation text is what will pop up onto the screen to guide people, as to what they've actually done wrong. So let's say the validation rule says you mustn't enter a number greater than 5, and somebody enters the number 6 or tries to. The validation text will then pop up to say, you can't enter a number greater than 6 in the cell. And then the person knows and they can go and correct it. Okay. So for the purpose of our question here, they're saying we need to add a validation rule to the date of birth field to prevent the user from entering a date later than the current date. Now, how do we get the current date? First of all, in validation rule, if we go equals now and we open and close our bracket, that's how we are going to get the current date. So if we're saying that we want them to, we don't want them to put in a date greater than the current date, all we've got to do is put in the greater than sign at the beginning, which will now say they cannot put in any date that is greater than the current date. And because we're using this formula, it's always gonna, update automatically. The validation text, we can put in whatever we want to there, so I'm not going to bother too much about that. Okay, so your 3 marks come from the greater than, the equals, and the now with its open and close bracket. That's how you get your 3 marks. Let's look at the next one. 4.1.2. Each course is assigned with a code. Add an input mask to the course code field to only accept the code, and I'm just going to stop there. So what do they want? Input mask, course code field. Course code field, let's click on that, and let's go to our input mask. Okay. Let's go back to the question paper. They want us to put in an input mask to only accept a code in the following format: 3 optional digits, and that's very important, followed by a hyphen, followed by 3 compulsory uppercase letters. So they give us an example: 22-DLC, 1-SBE, or 398-KPP. Right. Now, this is very important when they mention 3 optional digits, because you can see from the example, the person is not compelled to enter 3 digits. It means they don't have to enter 3 digits. They can enter 2, they can enter 1, they can enter 3, but it can't be greater than 3. Okay, so that's already a big clue. We know we have to put in a hyphen. We know we have to put in an input mask to get the 3 compulsory uppercase letters. Now, usually we would go like 000, /LLL. And what that would mean is the zeros would indicate that you must have 3 numbers in that place. And the L's, if they're capital L's, means that, it must be uppercase letters. So zeros for the numbers, L for the letters. However, because we want optional, right? What do they say? Optional digits. What we're going to do here is we're going to take out what we would usually put in. And now I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to use the less than sign. I'm going to say less than 999. Now, why would I do that? The reason for that is I'm saying that the person can enter any number less than 999. Can I enter the number 1? Yes. Can I enter 55? Yes. Can I enter 635? Yes, I can. Is it lower than 999? Yes, it is. So I'm going to get a mark for putting in less than. I'm going to get a mark for using 999. What else did they want? They wanted the hyphen. Boom. There's my hyphen. What else did they want? Followed by 3 compulsory uppercase letters. L, L, L. Capital L's. And that's how I get my 4 marks. 1 mark for the less than sign, 1 mark for it being less than 999, a mark for my dash, a mark for my triple L. There, my input mask is done. Right, next one. Insert a combo box for the course field so that the list of courses can be selected. And I'm using the table course information. Okay, let's have a look. We're going to the field course. You can see the data type is short text already. That's wrong. We want to insert a combo box, so we need to go down to the Lookup Wizard. Lookup Wizard is going to open. It's going to give us 2 options. Either we want to look up fields that already exist, or we want to type in the values that we want. In other words, a custom-made list. That's not what they're asking for. So we leave it as is and we click next. Which table did they say it must be based off? Course information. So click on course information and click next. Now, of the available fields, what do we want? Do we want the ID? No. Are we interested in the number of attendees? No. So click on courses, click on the arrow, and click next. Did they mention anything about ascending, or descending order? In other words, sorting everything? Nothing of the sort. Leave it as is. Click next. This just shows you what it's going to be. Click next. And then if they give you a label that, they want for this particular field, you can pop it in there. If they don't, just click finish. Table must be saved. Yes, that's fine. Just click yes, and yes, and yes. Okay. So what's going to happen now is when I go through to my data sheet view and I go over to course and I click in there, this is what's going to happen. I've now got a fully populated combo box, drop-down box that is going to give me a number of different options. Right. Let's see. What does the question paper say? What's next? Okay. So we're done with that. We're looking at the form attendee information. Okay. So I can actually close that. We go to the form attendee information. There's your basic form. You can see it ends with data bundle. Okay. Let's see what the question paper has to say. It's just 1 6-mark question. Okay. So we need to take note here. Open the form and add a function to the details tab to do the following. Okay, so let's just go back here. We need to go into design view, and this is the details section over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, so we can see exactly what we're doing. We have enough space to do it in. Okay. They want us to calculate the age of the attendee in years, format the function to display the age as a whole number, and then display a suitable label for the calculated age. So you can see here, each of these options, it's got a label and it's got an area where the person is going to enter that particular info. In order to do that, we need to go to our form design, we need to go to our control section, and then go to text box. And I'm just going to draw it here at the bottom, and you'll see what happens is the unbound section, or the second box, it will have a yellow border to it. So when I click on that and I move it around, you'll see it moves both boxes. However, when I click on the gray box over here, it allows me to move each of these items individually. Okay, so I can decide exactly where I want it to be. So I've created that, and they basically want me to calculate, you know, the age. So I'm going to call this calculated age. Okay. And then I'm just going to move it around a little bit. And then this is where this is going to be. Okay. So that's fine. If I look at the question paper and they're saying calculate the age, I still have to put a formula in there. I haven't done that yet. I haven't formatted it as a whole number because I haven't done the formula. But I have displayed a suitable label to, you know, to display all of this. Okay. So let's go and do the actual formula. Now, I need to work out the person's age. Now, in order to do that, I need to take today's date. I need to subtract that from the person's date of birth. And then whatever that answer is, I need to divide by 365. So we'll start, I mean, this is like doing it in Excel. I'm going to go equals, I'm going to open my bracket, and I'm going to go date, open and close bracket. Now we remember what that formula does. Date, or rather equals date, open and close bracket. That'll give me today's date without the time. Okay, without the time. Then I'm going to say minus. And now I'm going to open square brackets. Now the reason for this is when you are referring to a field within Access, you must use square brackets. So for this, I'm going to go, see, I'm talking about a field now. I want to type it in. Date, and it must be exactly as it is, okay, in the field. So date of birth, square bracket, close my round brackets. Now why? Because there I've got my round bracket, here I've got my other round bracket, and all of that is going to give me one answer. But I want to take that and divide that by 365. So when I now go to my form view and I scroll down, whoa, I'm getting 20,3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 8, 6, 7, 6, 7. They don't want that. Okay? What they want is a whole number. So let's go back and see what we need to do. The formula works perfectly, right? But we need to do some more to it. So we're going to right click on that particular box and we're going to go to the properties. All we're going to do is we're going to go to the format section over here. And from the drop down list, we want to click on fixed. That should give us a fixed number. And the decimal places, we are going to say that we want that to be 0 decimal places. So format, fixed, decimal places 0. And what's going to happen is when I go back to my form view, bingo, I've got my whole number. Okay, so if we go back to the question paper, have I calculated the age of attendee in years? Yes, I have. Have I formatted the function to display the age as a whole number? Yes, I have. Display as a suitable label? Yes, I have. That's my 6 marks right there. Okay, so that's it for that section. The next one, second last one we deal with is queries. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. All right, query 4.3.1. Sorry, let me just close this. Now we can save it. That's fine. Query 4.3.1. We can see we've got first name, last name, date of birth, and a number of courses. Okay, so I'm going to go into design view. You can see there first name, last name, date of birth, and number of courses. So let's see what they want us to do. 4.3.1, display all attendees who are 18 years and younger. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to have to go into date of birth. I'm going to have to go to the criteria section and type in a formula. So this formula is going to be different, okay, because now I need to look at today's date and I need to subtract today's date from the year 2003. Okay, to see who's actually younger or who's 18 and younger. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with between space date. We're going to open and close our bracket. So between, in other words, today's date, and we put the specific date we're referring to in hashes. I don't want to say hashtags really, because that's all we hear these days. Okay, and we're going to close it with our hash symbol. And then once we're happy with that, we're going to go run. There we're going to see a list of all those who are 18 and younger. Okay, but I know they're not done. Right, then they want us to sort the attendees according to the level of literacy in descending order. Now, when I look at this, is there a field that says level of literacy? No, which means I need to add it. So I go to the next field that's open, click in there, click on the drop-down box, and I select level of literacy. There's my sort section. Did they want me to sort it? Yes, they did, in descending order. So I simply click in there, select descending, and now when I click run, not only am I going to get a list of those who are 18 and younger, but it's going to be sorted according to their level of literacy. Okay, so I hope you guys are still with me. Let's look at the question paper. Where are we going? 4.3.2. The organizers want to give the attendees internet data. Only Vodacom vouchers are available. They decided to give money to other attendees. So they want us to modify the 432 query. So let's close this one. Let's open up our 432 query. There we've got last name, first name, data bundle, and number of days. So what are they asking? Show all users who do not use Vodacom. So we can see here with data bundle, there's a whole lot of cell phone network providers. They don't want Vodacom. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into design view. I'm going to go into the data bundle section, and I'm going to go, or field rather, and I'm going to go to my criteria. And by using the less than and greater than signs, I'm actually indicating, Vodacom. I'm actually indicating that I want everything displayed except Vodacom. So how do I know this works? Well, when I go run, there you can see data bundle has all the networks except Vodacom. Okay, I'm going to stick in my design view and go back to the question paper. They want us now to create a calculated field called data to calculate the money that each person will receive. Now, each person will be given an allowance of 30 Rand per day. So already when we go to our query, obviously this person over here, Bambi, they're going to be in the course for 1 day. And because they're getting 30 Rand per day, you can imagine that person will only get 30 Rand. Obviously, it's going to increase according to the number of days. So we go into design view. They want us to create a new calculated field. So we go into the next field. And we first, when you want to create a calculated field, you need a few things. You need your calculation, you need your colon, and you need the name of the particular field that you want to create. So they're saying create a calculated field called data. So we're going to type in data, put in our colon, and then we begin to type in our formula. Now, what is our formula going to be? Well, we basically want to take the number of days and multiply that by 30. But remember, we use square brackets to indicate a field, and we have to type it exactly as it is. So number of days to attend, use our square bracket, and then multiply that by 30. Okay, it's based on attendee information, and I can click run. Now, if something like this comes up, what is that telling me? It's telling me that there is some sort of error over there, and you can see I'm just going to take my space away and run it, and there it works. So just be careful of that. Sometimes it's just by you having that space that this happens. And there you can see I've got my column there. That's how much it's going to be. I can also go and format it so that it displays in currency and things like that. But there's my formula, and that's all that you need to do for that particular field. Okay, you'll also see at the bottom, it should give you a total. If it doesn't, you can always go here and just say sum, and there it will add everything up for you. And that's how you get your 6 marks. Okay, so you can see I created a new one. I indicated what it must be based off of. Went, ran it, popped everything in, did a sum at the bottom, and that gives me my 6 marks. Now, the last thing they want us to do is to create a report. And this is a big one. This is for 10 marks. Okay. They want me to create a report called RPT4_4 based on the attendee information table. And they want the following fields. So all we're going to do is go to create and go to report wizard. Okay. Now, if there's a query open, they might ask you to save it. That's fine. Then this will pop up. They said they want the report based on what? Based on the table attendee information. Is that correct? Yes. What fields do they want? Last name, date of birth, gender. So we go last name, date of birth, gender. What else? Number of courses, level of literacy, number of courses, level of literacy, and what else? Number of days to attend. Okay, we've got that in. We click next. Do they want any grouping? What do they say? Group the records according to the gender field. Okay, so let's go there and we group it according to gender. What are they saying? Then sort according to the level of literacy. Okay, so that's our grouping. Do they want it sorted? Yes, they want it sorted according to the level of literacy. Guys, this is why it is important to read your question. Display the report in landscape format. So I can click there. Landscape format. Do you see? I'm taking it step by step. Insert. Okay, so now they want us to go through that. Next, finish, done. So there's my report. Okay. It's probably 5 to 6 marks that I've already done before even doing anything. So this is before me even going into the design view and things like that. Now, when I look further, it says insert a function into the group footer to calculate the number of female and male attendees, add a description label to that calculation, and ensure the data displays fully. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the design view of this report. I'm then going to go into the gender header because they want me to deal with the gender. And again, like we did before, I'm going to click in report design controls and I'm going to go to text box. And let's just put in here, I'm just going to say total. Or gender total. Yeah, I think let me put it that way. Gender total. And in my unbound section, all I'm going to type in there is just equals count. That's all I need to do. However, yeah, got you there. Right? I need to say what it needs to count. So I can do it two ways. I can either just open my bracket, put in a star, and close my bracket, which means it will count everything in there. Okay? So let's go and do that. We've done equals count, open bracket, star, close bracket. Let's go to our report view. You'll see gender total 53 for female. And then when I go down to the males, it's 47. Do you see that? Right. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's change this now. And let's say we want to count. Still use the count formula, but this time we're going to type in the field name, which is gender. Okay. View, report view. Gender total 53 and gender total 47. So I want you to see that it doesn't matter which formula I use, either one will be marked correct and it will still give you the same answer. Have I put a descriptive label? Yes, I have. Is the data displaying correctly? Yes. Once you're done, you can literally just close all of this, save the changes, and right-click on the report itself and say rename. And what do they want us to save it as? RPT4_4. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. That is question number 4 from your September CAT track paper. Okay? Hope you guys are grasping everything, and I'm going to see you in question number 5.